Before we dive in, please remember that this video is for informational and educational purposes only. TSA regulations can change rapidly and without notice. While we strive to provide the most accurate and up-to-date information, you should always check the official TSA website for the very latest rules before you travel. This presentation does not constitute legal advice. Imagine this for a second. You're at the airport. You've done everything right. You got here 2 hours early, you've got your boarding pass on your phone, you even prepaid for your check bag to save a few bucks. You get to the security line and it's long but it's moving. You do the usual dance. Shoes off, belt off, laptop in its own bin. You slide your carry-on bag onto the conveyor belt with a sense of relief. You're almost there. But then you watch as your bag glides through the X-ray tunnel and stops. It gets diverted to the side. A TSA agent picks it up, looks at the screen, and then looks at you. Your heart does that little lurch. You walk over and they start pulling things out. Not your laptop, not your liquids. They pull out that brand new sealed container of protein powder you bought for your trip. Sorry, the agent says, holding it up. This is over the limit. You can either go back and check it, or we have to dispose of it. You stare in disbelief. It's not a liquid. It's not sharp. It's not dangerous. It's just powder. But the line behind you is growing, people are staring. And your flight starts boarding in 40 minutes. You have no choice. You watch as they drop your $40 supplement into the bin. That frustrating, confusing, and expensive experience is happening to thousands of American travelers every single day. And it's not just about protein powder. It's about makeup. It's about coffee. It's about baby formula. And it's all because of a series of quiet but critical updates to TSA rules that most people have never even heard of. The game has changed. The technology has changed. And what you think you know about getting through airport security is probably dangerously out of date. That's why I made this video. I'm going to be your guide through the new landscape of TSA security. We are going to break down every single critical update you need to know before your next flight. We're not just talking about the obvious stuff. We're going deep into the surprising new rules for electronics, the shocking evolution of the liquids rule, and the one new technology that is changing how the TSA sees inside your bag, right down to the density of the food you packed. By the time you finish this video, you will be one of the most informed travelers at the airport. You will pack with confidence, you will walk through security with ease, and you will never again have that sinking feeling of watching your bag get pulled for a random and completely avoidable search. You'll save time, you'll save money, and most importantly, you'll save yourself a massive amount of stress. So let's start with the one that trips up so many people, the very thing from our opening story, the powder rule. For years, we've all had the 311 liquids rule drilled into our heads. 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters in a 1-quart bag, 1 bag per passenger. Simple. We get it. But what about powders? For the longest time, there were no real restrictions. But that all changed. Now, any powder-like substance in a container larger than 12 ounces, or 350 milliliters, which is about the size of a standard can of soda, needs to be removed from your carry-on bag and placed in a separate bin for screening. And here's the critical part. Even if it's in a separate bin, the TSA reserves the right to not allow it through the checkpoint at all. If they can't determine what the substance is, it gets tossed. So what exactly counts as a powder? The list is longer than you'd think. It's not just protein powder or baby formula. We're talking about loose makeup like foundation powder or blush. We're talking about ground coffee, spices you might be bringing back as a souvenir, dry shampoo, and even certain bath salts or body powders. Anything that could be considered a fine, granulated substance falls under this rule. So why the sudden change? It's not arbitrary. It's a direct response to security threats and, more importantly, it's linked to the new technology being rolled out in airports across the country. The older X-ray machines were good, but they had limitations. They basically showed a 2D image, and agents had to interpret shadows and shapes. Certain dense, organic materials, which unfortunately includes a lot of powders, could be used to obscure threat items or, in a worst-case scenario, could be components of a threat themselves. The new rule requiring you to separate them gives agents a much clearer look. It allows them to swab the container for trace explosives and ensures that a large, dense clump of powder isn't masking something more sinister inside your bag. It's a security upgrade, but it's a massive inconvenience if you're not prepared. So how do you handle it? You have a few smart options. The absolute easiest way to avoid any hassle is to pack any large containers of powder in your checked luggage. If it's not in your carry-on, the 12-ounce rule doesn't apply. Problem solved. But what if you need it with you on the plane, like baby formula? or you're a carry-on only traveler. The next best option is to divide and conquer. Instead of one giant container of protein powder, divide it into several smaller, single-serving plastic bags or containers, each well under the 12-ounce limit. The same goes for coffee or spices. This way, you don't have to remove anything from your bag at all. It just goes through the scanner like anything else. Your third option, if you absolutely must bring a container larger than a soda can, is to be prepared. Pack it at the very top of your carry-on so it's easy to pull out. Place it in a bin by itself just like a laptop. And be ready for the possibility of a bag check and an explosives trace detection test. That's where they take a little swab and put it in a machine. It usually only takes an extra minute or two, but if you're cutting it close for your flight, those minutes can feel like an eternity. Remember, the final decision always rests with the TSA officer. So being cooperative and having your items easily accessible makes their job easier and your transit smoother. Now, this powder rule is a perfect example of a small change with big consequences. But it's just the beginning. It's a symptom of a much larger technological shift happening behind the scenes at every major airport in the United States. And this shift is the real reason you need to rethink everything you know about packing. I'm talking about the rollout of CT scanners. You may have already seen them. They're a bit bigger and chunkier than the old X-ray tunnels. CT stands for computed tomography. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's the same basic technology used in medical CT scans. Instead of taking a single flat picture of your bag, these machines take hundreds of images as the bag passes through, using a rotating X-ray source. The computer then instantly stitches all of those images together to create a fully rotatable, three-dimensional model of your bag and everything inside it. The TSA agent can literally spin the image of your bag around on their screen, look at it from any angle, and even digitally unpack it layer by layer. They can slice through a view of your suitcase to see exactly what's inside that shoe or tucked into that pocket. More than that, the technology is so advanced it can automatically analyze the density and molecular structure of every single item to help identify materials that could be threats. It's the difference between looking at a black and white photograph and having a holographic, explorable model. This is a quantum leap in security capability. And for travelers, it means the rules of what you can leave in your bag are being completely rewritten. The days of pulling out your laptop are numbered, and what you need to take out or can now leave in is changing by the month as more of these scanners are deployed. And the implications for your electronics, your food, and even your toiletries are massive. Let's start with the biggest change, the one that's rolling out across the country and fundamentally altering the security line experience: the computed tomography or CT scanner. You've probably seen them. They're the big, white, futuristic-looking machines that are slowly replacing the old gray X-ray tunnels. And if you think they're just a fancier version of the old machine, you're missing the entire story. The old X-ray scanners were basically a flat, 2D picture. Imagine taking a photo of your suitcase. That's why you had to take your laptop out. It was a big, dense, flat object that would block the view of everything underneath it, creating a massive blind spot for the TSA agent. It was like trying to see what's behind a dinner plate by just looking at its face. You can't. So we had to take out the plate. These new CT scanners are a different beast entirely. They work almost exactly like a medical CT scan. Instead of one flat image, the machine takes hundreds of images as your bag passes through, spinning around it to create a fully rotatable 3D model. The TSA agent can literally grab the image on their screen and turn your bag upside down, sideways, and look at it from any angle. They can slice through it digitally layer by layer to see exactly what's inside. That big, dense laptop isn't a dinner plate anymore. It's a transparent object they can see right through. This technology is the key. It's the reason why the rules are changing so drastically. Because these machines are so much smarter, they're equipped with advanced algorithms that can automatically detect explosives and other threats with a much higher degree of accuracy. The machine itself can flag a potential problem before a human eye even spots it. So, what does this mean for you standing in that security line sweating about whether you packed correctly? It means that at airports equipped with these new CT scanners, you no longer need to remove your electronics or your 311 liquids bag. Let me repeat that because it's a game changer. Laptops, tablets, iPads, cameras, all those large electronics that you've been dutifully pulling out for 2 decades can now stay inside your carry-on bag. Your little baggie of travel-size shampoo and toothpaste can also stay put. This is the TSA's vision for the future. A smoother, faster, and more secure checkpoint where you just place your bag on the belt and walk through. But here's the multi-million-dollar catch. We're not in the future yet. We're in the messy transition period. As of right now, these CT scanners are in hundreds of airports, but not at every checkpoint in every airport. You might go through a lane with a new scanner at JFK in New York, but then fly home from a smaller regional airport that still has the old X-ray machines. You might even find that in the same airport, the standard security line has the new scanners, but the TSA pre-check line, ironically, still has the old ones. This creates a nightmare scenario of conflicting rules. So how do you know what to do? First, look. When you get to the front of the line, look at the machine. The new CT scanners are noticeably larger, bulkier, and more modern-looking than the old, smaller tunnels. Second, listen. TSA agents will be shouting instructions. They'll be yelling laptops and liquids can stay in your bag if you're in a CT-equipped lane. If you don't hear that, assume the old rules apply. When in doubt, always ask the agent or just take your electronics and liquids out. It's better to do the old-school thing and be right than to assume the new rules apply and be the person holding up the entire line while a TSA agent digs through your perfectly packed bag because you left your laptop in. Now let's talk about powders. This was a rule that blindsided a lot of people a few years ago. Suddenly, things like protein powder, baby formula, makeup, and even certain spices became a major issue. The rule states that any powder-like substances over 12 ounces, which is about the size of a soda can, need to be removed from your bag and placed in a separate bin for screening. Why? Because certain explosive materials can be disguised as common powders. With the old X-ray machines, they were very difficult to distinguish. The new CT scanners are changing this too, because the technology can better analyze the density and composition of materials. It's much more effective at identifying whether that container of protein powder is actually protein powder. While the 12-ounce rule is still officially on the books, you'll find that at checkpoints with CT scanners, you're far less likely to be pulled for a secondary screening if you leave it in your bag. However, for now, the official guidance remains. If you have a large container of powder, it's safest to pull it out and put it in a bin to avoid any chance of a bag check. But the most significant change, the one that will impact every single traveler, revolves around that sacred rule we've all lived by since 2006. The 311 liquids rule. 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters per container, all fitting in one clear, quart-sized bag, one bag per passenger. We know it by heart. We've bought tiny bottles. We've thrown away expensive sunscreens at the checkpoint. We've lamented not being able to bring a simple bottle of water through security. Well, that era is officially beginning to end. Thanks to the accuracy of these new CT scanners, the TSA has begun allowing airports to eliminate the 3.4-ounce liquids limit at equipped checkpoints. Several airports in the US are already part of pilot programs where passengers can bring full-size bottles of shampoo, conditioner, and even water bottles through security, as long as they go through a CT scanner lane. The machine is so precise it can analyze the liquids inside the containers and clear them. This is already the standard in many European countries that adopted this technology earlier. You can walk through security in Amsterdam or Helsinki with a full bottle of water in your bag. No problem. And the United States is finally starting to catch up. But, and this is a critical but, this is happening on a terminal-by-terminal, airport-by-airport basis. It is not a nationwide rule yet. Before you show up to the airport with a full-size bottle of anything, you must check the specific rules for the exact airport and terminal you're departing from. Do not assume. If you get it wrong, you're not just holding up the line. You're being forced to abandon your items. For now, the safest bet for 99% of flyers is to stick to the 311 rule. But know that this is the direction we are headed. Within the next few years, the dreaded tiny bottle shuffle at security will likely be a thing of the past. This also creates a fascinating wrinkle for members of programs like TSA PreCheck and Clear. For years, the main benefit of PreCheck was the convenience of leaving your shoes on and keeping your laptop and liquids in your bag. But as these new CT scanners are deployed in standard lanes, the benefits are starting to blur. A standard lane with a CT scanner now offers almost the same convenience as a PreCheck lane without one. In fact, you might have a better experience in the standard lane if it means you don't have to take anything out of your bag. This is causing the TSA to reevaluate the entire system and what it means to be an expedited traveler. So, the new scanners are changing everything we thought we knew about packing electronics, powders, and liquids. But even with this incredibly advanced technology, there's one category of common items that is causing more manual bag checks and creating more confusion than ever before. It has nothing to do with the scanner's ability to see threats, and everything to do with a very real and very dangerous fire risk that has both the TSA and the FAA on high alert. I'm talking about batteries. And the rules around your power banks, your vape pens, and even your smart luggage are some of the most misunderstood and strictly enforced regulations you'll face. Get them wrong and you could lose your items or even face a hefty fine. Let's start with the why. Why is the TSA so obsessed with a simple power bank? The answer is a terrifying phenomenon called thermal runaway. Lithium-ion batteries, the kind in your phone, laptop, and power bank, are packed with an incredible amount of energy. If one of these batteries is damaged, short-circuited, or overheats, it can enter an unstoppable chain reaction fire. We're talking about temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, toxic smoke, and violent explosions. Now, imagine that happening inside the cargo hold of an airplane at 35,000 feet, buried under hundreds of other bags. Fire suppression systems in the cargo hold are designed for regular fires, not the chemical inferno of a lithium battery. It's a nightmare scenario. But if that same battery catches fire in the cabin, in your carry-on bag, the flight crew is trained to handle it. They have specialized fire containment bags and extinguishers. It's still an emergency, but it's a manageable one. That is the entire reason for the single most important rule you need to remember. All spare lithium-ion batteries and power banks must be in your carry-on luggage. Period. Never, ever, under any circumstances, put them in your checked bag. This isn't a suggestion. It's a federal regulation. So let's break down the specifics, starting with the most common item, the portable power bank. The TSA measures these not by the milliamp hours or mAh that you see advertised, but by watt hours. The limit is 100 watt-hours per battery without needing to ask for permission. Now don't panic, you don't need to be a math whiz. A 100 watt-hour battery is equivalent to about 27,000 milliamp hours. This means your standard, pocket-sized, or even larger power bank is almost certainly fine. Most of the popular models on the market are designed to be under this limit specifically so you can fly with them. But if you're a photographer, a videographer, or just someone who needs a massive amount of power, you might have a larger battery. This is where it gets tricky. You are allowed to bring up to 2 larger batteries, each up to 160 watt-hours, but you must get approval from the airline first. Don't just show up at the airport and hope for the best. Call them ahead of time, get the confirmation, and be prepared to show it. Anything over 160 watt-hours is strictly forbidden. It's considered hazardous material and won't be flying on a passenger plane, carry-on, or checked. Next up, vape pens and e-cigarettes. These are a huge source of confusion and confiscated items. Because they contain both a lithium-ion battery and a heating element, the FAA considers them a significant fire risk. For this reason, they are absolutely prohibited in checked luggage. You must carry your vape device with you in the cabin. But here's the crucial part that trips people up. You are not allowed to use or charge it at any point while on the aircraft. The risk of the device accidentally activating and overheating is too high. We've all seen the stories of vape pens catching fire in people's pockets. The airlines are not taking any chances. So pack it in your carry-on, but keep it turned off and disconnect it from any charger until you are safely off the plane and in a designated smoking area. Now for a modern travel headache: smart luggage. Those high-tech bags with built-in chargers, GPS trackers, and electronic locks are amazing. Until you get to the airport. The rule here is brutally simple. The lithium-ion battery must be removable. If you have a smart bag and you want to check it, you have to be able to pop the battery out with no tools and bring that battery with you into the cabin. If the battery is built in and cannot be removed, you have a very expensive problem. That bag cannot fly. It cannot be checked. And it's almost certainly too large to be a carry-on. We've seen heartbreaking scenes of travelers at the check-in counter being forced to abandon their brand new, several $100 suitcase or miss their flight. Before you buy a smart bag, triple check that the battery is removable. If it's not, it's essentially a very fancy, very expensive home storage container because it's not going on a plane. What about all the other batteries? The spares for your camera, your drone, your portable fan? Same rule applies. Carry on only. But there's an extra layer of protection required. The TSA is concerned about these batteries knocking against each other or a metal object like keys or coins in your bag, causing a short circuit. To prevent this, you need to protect the terminals. The easiest way is to keep them in their original retail packaging. If you've thrown that away, you can put each battery in a separate plastic bag or a dedicated battery case. A pro tip many travelers use is to simply put a small piece of electrical tape over the metal contact points. It's a simple, cheap solution that shows the TSA you know the rules and you're being safe. So what about devices that have a battery inside them, like your laptop or your electric toothbrush? Can those go in a checked bag? The official answer is yes, with a major caveat. The device must be completely powered off. Not in sleep mode, not in hibernate mode, but completely off. This minimizes the risk of it turning on and overheating in the cargo hold. However, I will give you some unofficial but very strong advice. Never pack any electronics with a lithium-ion battery in your checked bag if you can avoid it. The risk of theft is high, and the way baggage handlers throw bags around, the risk of damage is even higher. That damage could be the very thing that leads to a thermal runaway event. It's just not worth it. Keep your valuable electronics with you in the cabin. Finally, let's touch on the other kind of lithium batteries. The non-rechargeable ones, called lithium metal batteries. These are your standard AA, AAA, or coin cell batteries you find in cameras, watches, and small electronics. The rules for these are a bit more lenient. They are allowed in both checked and carry-on luggage, as long as they are installed in a device. Spare, uninstalled lithium metal batteries, however, must be in your carry-on, with their terminals protected, just like their rechargeable cousins. The easiest way to avoid any confusion is to just follow one simple, universal rule for all spare batteries of any kind. Pack them safely in your carry-on. No exceptions. It simplifies the process and guarantees you won't have a problem. So you've mastered batteries, you've protected your gear, you've avoided a massive fine, and you've prevented a potential in-flight disaster. But as you walk away from the check-in counter and head towards the security line, you realize the biggest, most frustrating hurdle is still ahead: your liquids. And that old 311 rule you've memorized for years? It's not the full story anymore. In fact, several common food items are now being treated as liquids, and they're causing thousands of travelers to get their bags pulled for a time-consuming secondary screening. What you thought was a simple snack could be the one thing that puts you at risk of missing your flight. The culprit is any food that can be spread, smeared, sprayed, or spilled. The TSA has a simple, if frustratingly vague, rule of thumb. If you can pump it, squeeze it, spread it, or spray it, it's considered a liquid or gel and must follow the 311 rule. This isn't just about obvious things like soup or drinks anymore. We're talking about the food items that live in a gray area, the ones you never think twice about packing. I'm talking about peanut butter, hummus, cream cheese, jams and jellies, even that container of salsa or guacamole you were planning to enjoy on vacation. To you it's a snack. To an X-ray machine and a trained TSA officer, it's an organic, dense material that can be used to conceal threat items. It looks almost identical to certain types of plastic explosives on the scanner screen. That's the entire reason for this rule. It's not that the TSA thinks your peanut butter is dangerous. It's that they can't be 100% sure what might be hidden inside that jar of peanut butter just by looking at the X-ray image. So that full-size jar of Jif you packed is a no-go in your carry-on. That container of your favorite local hummus? It has to be 3.4 ounces or less. That delicious artisanal jam you bought at a farmer's market? Same rule applies. It needs to fit inside your single quart-sized bag along with your toothpaste, shampoo, and other toiletries. This is where countless travelers are getting tripped up. They've meticulously prepared their liquids bag, but they have a separate container of yogurt or a block of cream cheese in their lunch bag. The conveyor belt stops. Their bag gets flagged, and suddenly they're pulled aside for a bag check, watching precious minutes tick away as an officer manually inspects every item, all because of a food they didn't realize was a liquid. Let's be crystal clear about what this means for your next trip. Think about the common items. Peanut butter, Nutella, almond butter. All have to be in containers of 3.4 ounces or less to be in your carry-on. Same for dips and spreads like hummus, cream cheese, and even things like canned tuna, which is packed with liquid. Salad dressing, cranberry sauce, maple syrup, honey, all liquids. If you're bringing a gift of gourmet mustard or a fancy olive tapenade, it either has to be travel-sized or it has to go in your checked luggage. There is no exception. We've seen reports of people having to throw away expensive jars of gourmet food, souvenirs they lovingly picked out, right there at the checkpoint. It's a frustrating and completely avoidable situation if you know the rule. The core of the issue is density. The X-ray machines are programmed to flag materials with densities that fall within a certain range, a range that unfortunately includes both potentially dangerous materials and delicious, creamy foods. When the machine sees a large, opaque mass of that density, it can't tell the difference. So, it automatically flags the bag for a human to check. This is a security protocol that isn't going away. In fact, as scanning technology gets more sensitive, the enforcement of these rules is only becoming stricter. The days of an agent letting a slightly too large container of applesauce slide through are quickly disappearing. Now you might be thinking, what about a sandwich? A peanut butter and jelly sandwich has spreadable stuff in it. This is where the officer discretion part of the rule comes into play, and it's what makes things so confusing. Generally, a prepared food item like a sandwich is perfectly fine. The amount of peanut butter or cream cheese is small and integrated into the food, but a separate, large container of that same ingredient is the problem. What about a solid block of cheddar cheese? Usually fine. What about a soft brie or a creamy goat cheese? Now you're back in that gray area. The official TSA line is that if the cheese is soft and spreadable, it should follow the 3-1-1 rule. So, your best bet is to either check it or buy it after security. The fundamental question to ask yourself is this: could this item be easily hollowed out to conceal something? And does it have a density that will trigger the scanner? If the answer to either of those is maybe, you're better off putting it in your checked bag. So what are your options if you absolutely must travel with your favorite creamy foods? The first and most obvious solution is to put them in your checked luggage. There are no size restrictions on liquids, gels, or spreads in your checked bags. Just make sure they are sealed tightly, maybe even double-bagged, to prevent a messy catastrophe if the container breaks. Your second option is to buy it at the airport after you pass through security. Most airport convenience stores sell things like yogurt, hummus packs, and peanut butter. It might be more expensive, but it saves you the hassle at the checkpoint. Your third option is to ship it to your destination ahead of time, which is great for sending gifts or stocking a vacation rental. But what about the internet's favorite travel hack? Freezing it. The theory goes that if a liquid is frozen solid, it's no longer a liquid and can be brought through security in any size. And technically, according to the TSA's own website, this is true. It states, frozen liquid items are allowed through the checkpoint as long as they are frozen solid when presented for screening. If frozen liquid items are partially melted, slushy, or have any liquid at the bottom of the container, they must meet 3-1-1 liquids requirements. This sounds like a brilliant loophole, but in practice, it is an enormous gamble. You are betting that your item will remain completely, 100% frozen solid from the time you leave your house until the moment it goes through the X-ray machine. If your flight is delayed, if you hit traffic on the way to the airport, if the security line is long, that frozen block of soup or that jar of salsa can start to thaw. And the second a TSA agent sees any slush or any liquid, it's going to be confiscated if it's over the size limit. It also invites extra scrutiny. An agent is much more likely to pull a bag with a large, frozen, unidentifiable block in it for further inspection. It's a high-risk strategy that can easily backfire and cause the very delay you were trying to avoid. So you've sorted out your snacks, you've double-checked your peanut butter, and you think you're in the clear. But what about that protein powder you pack for the gym? Or the makeup setting powder in your cosmetics bag? A few years ago, this was a non-issue. But now, a new international directive has put all powders over a certain size under the microscope. And the rules are even stricter for international flights. This little-known regulation is catching even seasoned travelers by surprise, and it could get your entire bag emptied out right at the gate. So let's break down exactly what this powder rule means for you. We're talking about things like protein powder, baby formula, cosmetics, spices, even coffee grounds. If you have any powder-like substance in your carry-on that's larger than a standard 12-ounce soda can, it needs to be placed in a separate bin for screening. Just like your laptop. Why? Because dense, organic materials, which is what most powders are, can be used to obscure prohibited items or, in a worst-case scenario, could be components of an explosive device. The screening technology has to be able to get a clear read on what it is. If the agents can't identify it through the scanner, they are required to open the container and inspect it. And here's the pro tip that can save you a massive headache. If you can, put these larger powders in your checked luggage. The scanners used for checked bags are even more powerful, and you avoid the whole issue at the checkpoint. But for international flights, especially those coming into the United States, the rules are even more draconian. Many foreign airports will simply confiscate any powders over that 12-ounce limit. No questions asked. They won't just inspect it, they'll take it. So that giant tub of protein powder you were planning to take on your 2-week trip? It's not making it past security. You're better off buying it at your destination. This focus on powders, on liquids, on electronics, it all stems from one fundamental challenge for the TSA, trying to see the invisible. For 20 years, the security checkpoint experience has been defined by the classic X-ray scanner. You put your bag on a belt, it goes through a tunnel, and a TSA agent looks at a flat, two-dimensional, color-coded image on a screen. They're trained to spot the characteristic shapes and densities of weapons, explosives, and other prohibited items. But here's the problem with that system. A problem that security experts have known about for years. It's like trying to understand a complex machine by only looking at its shadow. A clever hacker can easily hide a threatening object behind a dense laptop, or layer components of a device throughout a bag, in a way that makes them look like harmless clutter on a 2D image. It's a game of hide and seek, and for years, the screeners were at a disadvantage. That is, until now. And this is arguably the single biggest change to the physical screening process since the 311 rule was introduced. It's the rollout of computed tomography, or CT scanners at checkpoints across the country. You might be familiar with CT scanners from the medical world. They create detailed 3D images of the inside of the human body. Well, that same technology has now been adapted for your carry-on luggage. And it's a complete game changer. Instead of a single flat X-ray image, these machines take hundreds of images as your bag passes through, compiling them into a fully three-dimensional, rotatable model. The TSA agent can now digitally unpack your bag on their screen. They can spin the image around, look at it from any angle, and even electronically slice through objects to see what's inside. That cluttered mess of cables, chargers, and souvenirs? The CT scanner can see through it all with stunning clarity. A laptop that was once the perfect shield for a hidden item can now be digitally removed from the image, revealing everything that was packed behind it. The implications for you, the traveler, are enormous. And for once, it's mostly good news. Remember the golden rule of the security line for the last 2 decades? Laptops out, tablets out, large electronics out. Well, with these new CT scanners, that rule is beginning to disappear. Because the machine can see through your electronics so effectively, you no longer need to remove them from your bag. Let me say that again because it's that important. At airports with these new CT lanes, you can leave your laptop, your iPad, your Kindle, and all your other electronics right where they are, zipped up inside your carry-on. And it gets even better. At many of the airports with the most advanced CT models, you can also leave your 311 liquids bag inside. The entire tedious process of unpacking at the checkpoint, juggling multiple bins, and frantically repacking on the other side is starting to become a thing of the past. It makes the line faster, more efficient, and infinitely less stressful. But here is the million-dollar question. How do you know if you're in one of these new high-tech lanes? This is critical because the rollout is happening gradually. As of right now, over 200 airports in the US have at least one of these scanners, but they may not be at every single checkpoint. You could go through a new court lane at Terminal A, but find the old X-ray system is still running at Terminal C. This inconsistency is the new challenge for travelers. And going on autopilot is your worst enemy. Seasoned travelers are so conditioned to the old routine that they walk up and immediately start pulling out their laptops, even when the TSA agent is yelling, "Leave everything in your bags." This slows the line down for everyone and negates the entire benefit of the new tech. So here's what you need to look for. First, the machines themselves look different. The old X-ray scanners are relatively small, boxy tunnels. The new CT scanners are noticeably larger, more rounded, and look frankly more futuristic, like something out of a science fiction movie. They're bigger, bulkier, and often have a more complex system of automated belts and diverters for the bins. Second, and most importantly, listen to the TSA agents. Their instructions will be your best guide. They will be explicitly telling people what to do. If you hear them say, "Laptops and liquids can stay inside your bag," you've hit the jackpot. Trust their instructions even if it feels wrong after 20 years of doing the opposite. Pay attention to the signs around the checkpoint as well. Many airports are now putting up large, clear signs indicating which items can be left in your bag for that specific lane. Don't just assume the rules are the same as they were on your last trip, or even the same as the security lane next to you. The key to a smooth journey in this transitional period is to be present, be observant, and listen. The traveler who knows to look for these new lanes and follows the updated instructions is the one who will glide through security, while others are still fumbling with their bins. This technological leap wasn't just about convenience. It was born from necessity. The primary driver behind the billion-dollar investment in CT technology was the evolving threat of sophisticated, homemade explosives. Security agencies saw intelligence that threat actors were getting better and better at concealing IED components inside personal electronics. They could hollow out a laptop, fill it with explosive material, and make it look almost identical to a normal device on a traditional 2D X-ray. The CT scanner defeats this tactic entirely. Its ability to measure the exact density of every single object in your bag means it can tell the difference between a normal circuit board and a block of plastic explosive shaped like one. It's a level of detection that was simply impossible just a few years ago. So while you get the convenience of leaving your laptop in your bag, the TSA gets a powerful new tool to find threats that the human eye, aided by old technology, might miss. So, the physical contents of your bag are now being scrutinized in 3D piece by piece on a molecular level. It's a massive leap forward in security, but the revolution in screening technology doesn't stop with your luggage. The next frontier, the one that is being rolled out right now in major airports, has to do with you, your identity, your body, and your face. The process of handing over a boarding pass and a driver's license to a TSA agent is about to go the way of the dodo. Your face is becoming your passport. Your fingerprints, your new boarding pass. This new wave of biometric technology promises a world where you can walk from the curb to the gate without ever pulling out a single piece of paper or identification. But the speed and convenience come at a staggering cost to privacy, and the system being tested at this very moment in Atlanta, Dallas, and Detroit is raising serious questions about how much we're willing to give up for a shorter line. And what they're doing with all that data is the most alarming part of all. This data isn't just a string of ones and zeros stored on a secure government server, locked away in a digital Fort Knox. That's the image they want you to have. The reality is far more complex and far more concerning. Every time you look into that camera, your face, your unique, unchangeable biometric signature, is converted into a digital template. This template is then cross-referenced against a massive gallery of images, typically pulled from government-held documents like your passport or driver's license photo. The system is designed to ask one simple question: is this person who their ticket says they are? But the data doesn't just vanish after you get the green light. The TSA's own privacy impact assessments reveal that these images can be stored for years. They state it's for testing and evaluation of the technology. But let's be clear about what that means. Your face becomes part of the training data for the very algorithms that are scanning you. You are, without explicit consent, helping to build a more powerful, more pervasive surveillance machine. And who has access to this machine? It's not just the TSA. The Department of Homeland Security has made it clear that it wants to create an interoperable biometric ecosystem across multiple federal agencies. That means your face scan from JFK could one day be accessible to ICE, the FBI, or even local law enforcement, all without a warrant. This is a classic case of what privacy experts call mission creep. The technology is sold to the public for one purpose: convenience and security at the airport, but its capabilities allow it to be used for so much more. Think about it. We saw this with automatic license plate readers. They were introduced to catch toll evaders. Now they're used by police departments to build vast databases tracking the movements of millions of innocent citizens. The airport is just the test kitchen. The goal is to normalize this technology, to get us so used to scanning our faces for a flight that we don't blink when it's required to enter a stadium, a concert, or a federal building. And what happens when this data is breached? Not if, but when. We have seen catastrophic data breaches at the highest levels of government. The Office of Personnel Management hack in 2015 exposed the sensitive personal information of over 21 million federal employees, including fingerprints. You can change a stolen password. You can cancel a stolen credit card. You cannot get a new face. You cannot get a new set of fingerprints. Once your biometric data is compromised, it is compromised forever. A hacker in Russia or China could have the unchangeable key that unlocks your identity. This isn't science fiction. It's the predictable consequence of creating massive, centralized honeypots of our most personal data. But the danger isn't just from hackers or government overreach. The technology itself is deeply flawed. Study after study, from MIT to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, has shown that facial recognition algorithms are significantly less accurate for women, people of color, and the elderly. The systems are predominantly trained on images of white men, creating a built-in algorithmic bias. So, what does this look like in the real world at Gate B27? It looks like a black woman being repeatedly misidentified by the machine, forcing her to undergo a stressful, public, and often invasive secondary screening, while the white man behind her sails through. It means the system designed to create efficiency actually creates a two-tiered system of screening, one that is faster and smoother for some demographics and slower and more fraught with suspicion for others. It's the digital equivalent of randomly selected for additional screening, only it's not random at all. It's coded into the machine. The TSA will tell you that you can always opt out. They'll point to a sign somewhere near the scanner that says you can request a manual identity check instead. But let's be honest about this so-called choice. When you're standing in a long snaking line with hundreds of impatient travelers behind you, and you see one path with a 5-second face scan and another that involves pulling an officer aside, triggering an unknown and potentially much longer process, how free is that choice, really? It's a classic example of coercive design. The system is built to create immense social and logistical pressure to comply. Opting out is positioned not as a right, but as an inconvenience, a disruption. You become the person holding up the line, the one who has to make a fuss, all for simply wanting to protect your own biometric data. This isn't just a debate about airport lines. This is a fundamental debate about the kind of society we want to live in. Do we want a society where our movements are passively tracked and our identity is constantly verified by unseen algorithms? A world where we must prove we are who we say we are, not to a person, but to a machine that may carry hidden biases against us. The airport is the front line of this debate. It's where these technologies are being tested, refined, and normalized on a massive scale. By accepting it for a little bit of convenience when we fly, we are paving the way for its implementation everywhere else. We are trading a permanent piece of our identity for a few saved minutes. And history shows that once a government gains a new surveillance power, it almost never gives it back. The frightening part is that this biometric revolution is happening in parallel with another massive technological shift inside the security checkpoint itself. While we are distracted by the cameras scanning our faces, the TSA is quietly rolling out a new generation of scanners for our bags. These machines, known as computed tomography or CT scanners, are a world away from the old X-rays we're used to. They create a full 3D 360-degree model of everything in your carry-on, with technology so powerful it can chemically analyze the items inside. This leap in technology is about to trigger the biggest change to packing rules we've seen in over 2 decades. The long-hated 311 liquids rule, the bane of every traveler's existence, is finally on the chopping block. But what's coming to replace it could be even more confusing, and what these new machines can see might shock you. The technology behind this change is called computed tomography, or CT scanning. And if that sounds familiar, it should. It's essentially the same technology used in hospitals for medical CAT scans. But instead of looking inside the human body, these new machines are looking inside your carry-on luggage with a level of detail that was previously science fiction. Imagine your standard, old-school airport X-ray machine. It takes a flat, 2-dimensional picture of your bag. It's like looking at a shadow. A skilled agent can pick out a suspicious shape, but it's difficult. Things can be hidden on top of or behind other objects. It's why you've had to pull out your laptop for years, because its dense electronics could easily be used to obscure a weapon or another prohibited item in a 2D image. The new CT scanners are a whole different ballgame. As your bag passes through the machine, an X-ray source rotates around it, taking hundreds of images from every conceivable angle. A powerful computer then instantly stitches all of those images together to create a fully rotatable, high-resolution, 3-dimensional model of your bag and everything inside it. The TSA agent isn't just looking at a flat picture anymore. They're looking at a complete 3D hologram of your belongings. They can use their mouse to digitally spin your bag around, look at it from the top, the bottom, the side. They can digitally slice through it, layer by layer, as if they were peeling an onion. They can zoom in on a single object and see its exact shape and dimensions, no matter what else is packed around it. But here's where it gets truly mind-blowing, and this is the part that might make you a little uneasy. The technology doesn't just see shapes, it sees materials. Using a sophisticated algorithm and dual-energy X-rays, the system can analyze the molecular density and atomic number of every single item in your bag. It then color-codes everything on the screen based on what it's made of. Organics like food, paper, and certain explosives show up in shades of orange. Inorganics like metal show up as blue. Other materials fall into a green category. This means the agent doesn't just see a bottle of liquid. The machine's software analyzes the liquid's specific density and characteristics and flags it as either shampoo, soda, or potential threat. It can tell the difference between a block of cheese and a block of C4 plastic explosive. It can identify the specific components of a laptop and see if anything has been tampered with or hollowed out. They can see every wire, every circuit board, and every battery. They can digitally unpack your entire bag without ever laying a finger on the zipper. So what does this mean for the 311 rule? At airports equipped with these new CT scanners, it's gone. Vanished. You can leave your full-size shampoo, your conditioner, your contact lens solution, even a bottle of water, right inside your carry-on. You no longer need to cram everything into a tiny quart-sized plastic bag. Because the machine can analyze those liquids with a high degree of certainty, the manual separation is no longer necessary. The same goes for laptops and other large electronics. At these new checkpoints, you can leave your computer, your tablet, your Kindle, and your camera right where they are, tucked safely in your bag. This is designed to be a massive time saver. The TSA estimates it can speed up lane throughput by over 30%. But here is the multi-billion-dollar problem, and the single most important thing you need to understand before your next flight. This rollout is not happening overnight. As of right now, there are around 650 of these new CT scanners deployed across approximately 200 U.S. airports. But there are over 430 federalized airports in the United States. That means for every one airport that has this new convenient technology, there's at least one that doesn't. And it gets even more confusing. A large hub airport like Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson or Chicago's O'Hare might have the new CT scanners at some of their security checkpoints, but not all of them. You could fly out of Terminal 1 and leave your laptop in your bag, but if you fly out of Terminal 3 a month later, you might be forced to take it out. This creates a chaotic and inconsistent travel experience. The rules are now dependent on the specific airport, the specific terminal, and sometimes even the specific security lane you happen to be in on any given day. So how are you supposed to know what to do? The official advice from the TSA is to prepare as if you're flying from an old-school airport. That means you should still follow the 311 liquids rule and be ready to take out your electronics. However, a better way is to pay very close attention when you get to the security line. The TSA has been placing new signs and making announcements. Look at the bins, look at the conveyor belt. The new CT lanes look physically different. They're bigger and more enclosed than the old X-ray tunnels. And agents will be shouting instructions. If they say laptops and liquids can stay inside your bags, you've hit the jackpot. If you don't hear that, assume the old rules apply. The worst-case scenario is arriving at the airport assuming the new rules are in effect, only to be pulled out of line and forced to either throw away your full-size toiletries or go all the way back to the ticket counter to check your bag. It's a costly and time-consuming mistake. Another thing to be aware of is that even with this futuristic technology, you can still be selected for a manual bag check. The artificial intelligence that helps identify threats is constantly learning, but it's not perfect. Can be overly cautious. An unusually dense or oddly shaped object, even something as innocent as a souvenir snow globe or a tightly packed bundle of charging cables, can trigger an alarm. The system will flag it for a human to resolve. An agent will then pull your bag aside, and you'll have to wait while they go through it by hand, defeating the entire purpose of the time-saving technology. So, while the goal is a faster, more seamless experience, the reality for now is a system in transition. It's a period of growing pains. And this all leads to a much bigger question. Why is the government spending billions of dollars to roll out this incredibly sophisticated surveillance technology? It isn't just to save you a few minutes in the security line, or to let you bring a bigger bottle of shampoo. The convenience is just a happy byproduct. The real reason is that the threats themselves have evolved. The dangers that the TSA is trying to stop in the 2020s are far more complex and harder to detect than anything they were looking for a decade ago. The old X-ray machines simply can't keep up. The truth is, these new scanners are designed to find things that most of us can't even imagine. And the new security procedures they enable go far beyond just your carry-on luggage. They're about to change how you, the passenger, are screened as well. For decades, the airport security checkpoint has been a very physical, very analog experience. You hand a physical ID to a human being. You place your physical bags on a conveyor belt. You walk through a physical metal detector. If something seems off, another human being gives you a physical pat down. But that entire paradigm is being replaced. The new security screening isn't just about looking for objects. It's about verifying identity and assessing risk using data. And it starts the moment you walk up to the checkpoint. You may have already seen it. Instead of handing your driver's license and boarding pass to a TSA agent, you're directed to a small kiosk. You insert your ID and then you look at a camera. A green checkmark appears and you're waved through. This system is called CAT, or Credential Authentication Technology. The first generation simply verified that your ID was legitimate. But the newest generation, CAT2, is powered by facial recognition. In real time, it's matching the photo on your government-issued ID to a live photo of your face. It confirms you are who you say you are, and it simultaneously pulls up your flight details from the airline, confirming you're supposed to be there at that time for that flight. No boarding pass required. On the surface, this sounds great. It's faster. It reduces human error. It's more secure, making it nearly impossible to use a fake ID. The TSA says this is the future, rolling it out to over 80 airports already, with plans for a nationwide deployment. They even point to a potential future where you don't need an ID at all. Your face is your boarding pass. Your face is your passport. But this efficiency comes at a cost that we're only just beginning to understand. What happens to that photo of your face? The TSA's official privacy policy states that the photos of U.S. citizens are not stored or saved and are deleted after the identity match is made. But privacy advocates are sounding the alarm. They argue that this infrastructure creates the largest government-run, centralized facial recognition system in the country's history, and policies can change. What starts as a simple identity check at the airport could, with a simple policy update, become a tool for tracking citizens' movements, cross-referencing their images against other government watch lists, or sharing that data with other law enforcement agencies for unrelated purposes. The convenience is undeniable, but it normalizes the act of submitting our biometric data just to travel domestically. It's a fundamental shift in the relationship between the citizen and the state, and it's happening with very little public debate. This move toward a more automated, data-driven screening process extends to the most personal part of the checkpoint, the body scan. The old millimeter-wave body scanners were deeply controversial. They produced a fairly detailed, almost naked-looking image of your body, which was then analyzed by a human officer in a separate room. It was slow, invasive, and for many people deeply uncomfortable. The new generation of these scanners, known as Enhanced Advanced Imaging Technology, or AIT, aims to solve the privacy problem while dramatically increasing security. When you step into one of these new machines, it still uses the same safe millimeter wave technology to scan you, but a human being no longer looks at the image of your body. Instead, the raw data is analyzed by an artificial intelligence algorithm. This AI has been trained on tens of thousands of scans to know what a normal human body looks like and, more importantly, what it looks like when something is concealed on it. If you're clear, the machine shows the TSA officer a generic, cartoon-like avatar of a person on their screen with a green "OK." There's no detail, no identifiable features, nothing invasive. It's completely anonymous. If the AI detects an anomaly, a suspicious lump or an object that shouldn't be there, it highlights the specific area on that same generic avatar. A yellow box might appear over the avatar's ankle or lower back. This tells the officer exactly where they need to conduct a targeted pat-down, eliminating the need for a full-body search. This is a huge win for privacy, but it's a double-edged sword. The AI is far more powerful and precise than the human eye. It can detect smaller items, non-metallic threats, and cleverly concealed objects that a human officer, glancing at a screen for hours on end, might miss. It never gets tired, it never gets distracted, and its detection capabilities are constantly being updated with new software. So while the process feels less invasive to us, the level of scrutiny we are under is exponentially higher. We are trading a moment of human-led awkwardness for a lifetime of machine-led precision, and soon you might not even interact with a human officer at all. At Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas, the TSA is testing the future of passenger screening. A fully automated, self-service checkpoint. Imagine walking up to a private screening pod. Much like a futuristic dressing room, you scan your own boarding pass or face, and a video screen and automated voice guide you through the entire process. Please raise your arms. Please turn to the side. The doors close, the scan is performed by the AI-powered AIT, and if you're cleared, the exit door opens and you walk out to collect your belongings. No TSA agent is watching you. The entire process is designed to be done on your own. This is the ultimate vision for frictionless travel. It's faster, more private, and requires less staff. But it also represents the final step in removing the human element from security. Your safety is now in the hands of an algorithm. Your ability to get on a flight is determined by a machine's interpretation of data. There's no one to ask a question, no one to plead your case to if the machine makes a mistake. It's a perfectly efficient, perfectly impersonal system. But the most profound change isn't the hardware you can see. It's the invisible network of software that's watching you from the moment you park your car. The TSA's old behavior detection and analysis program, which relied on officers trying to spot suspicious behavior based on gut feelings and a checklist, was widely criticized as ineffective and prone to racial profiling. That program is being phased out and replaced by something far more powerful: AI-driven threat assessment. High-definition cameras, already blanketing every modern airport, are being integrated with sophisticated software. These algorithms don't just record, they analyze. They track crowd flow, identify people moving against the grain, and flag bags that are left unattended. But they can also be programmed to look for more subtle signs, what they call micro-expressions, and anomalous behaviors. Is someone sweating more than the ambient temperature would suggest? Is their gait unusual? Are they looking at security cameras too often, or deliberately avoiding them? This isn't science fiction. It's the reality of modern security analytics. The system can create a baseline of normal behavior in a specific airport terminal at a specific time of day, and then flag any individual who deviates from that baseline. That flag, that digital suspicion, can be enough to trigger a secondary screening, a bag check, or a conversation with law enforcement, all before you've even reached the checkpoint. You may never know why you were pulled aside. It wasn't because of how you look to a person, but because of how your data points look to a machine. Each of these technologies, the facial recognition, the AI-powered body scanners, the self-service pods, the behavioral analytics, is a powerful tool in its own right. But they are not being deployed in isolation. They are being woven together to create a single, seamless, data-driven security ecosystem. Think about it. Your face is scanned at the CAT-2 machine, linking your biometric identity to your flight itinerary. That data is now linked to your checked bags, which are being scanned by the powerful CT scanners we discussed earlier. As you walk through the terminal, your movements are analyzed by AI cameras. At the checkpoint, your body is scanned by an AI-powered AIT. Every single data point, from the contents of your suitcase to the expression on your face, is collected, correlated, and analyzed in real time. It creates a complete digital profile of your journey, a profile that is far more detailed and revealing than you could ever imagine. And all of this information doesn't just get deleted after your flight takes off. It feeds a much larger, much more secretive system, one that decides if you're a threat long before you even think about booking a ticket. This system is known as Secure Flight. It's run by the TSA, but it's powered by a much more shadowy entity, the Terrorist Screening Center, operated by the FBI. Think of it as the central nervous system of national security. Every time you book a flight, your name, date of birth, and gender are instantly beamed to this center. There, your information is cross-referenced against the massive Classified Terrorist Screening Database, or TSDB. This is the government's master watch list. But it's not just a simple name check. This is where it gets deeply personal. The system doesn't just look for a match. It builds a digital picture of you, assigning a risk level based on countless data points you've never even thought about. It analyzes your travel patterns. Have you taken a one-way flight to a country of interest? Have you paid for your ticket in cash? Have you booked at the last minute? Each of these actions can raise a small flag. It also looks at who you know. The system uses a process of network analysis. If someone in your contacts or a friend of a friend on social media is on a watch list, your own risk score can be elevated by association. You might have never met this person, but a distant digital connection can be enough to put you under a microscope. This is the reality of modern security. You are judged by the company your data keeps. Based on this lightning-fast analysis, which happens in seconds, you are placed into one of three categories. The vast majority of people are cleared for travel without issue, but a small percentage are flagged. Some are placed on the selectee list. If you've ever found the letters SSSS printed on your boarding pass, congratulations, you've hit the jackpot. It stands for Secondary Security Screening Selection. It means you're guaranteed a pat-down, a thorough search of your bags, and explosive trace detection swabs. It's an inconvenience designed to be a deterrent and a data-gathering opportunity. Then there's the most extreme category, the no-fly list. This is the list you absolutely do not want to be on. If your name is on it, you are barred from flying on any U.S. carrier or even through U.S. airspace. Period. You won't be told why. You'll just be denied a boarding pass at the check-in counter, often with no explanation, leaving you stranded and humiliated. The criteria for getting on this list are disturbingly vague. The government standard is a reasonable suspicion of being a threat to civil aviation or national security. Reasonable suspicion is a low bar. It's less than probable cause. It can be based on fragments of information, anonymous tips, or, as has happened many times, simple mistaken identity. Consider the story of a Stanford University graduate student. Let's call him Rahim. 4 years, Rahim flew without incident. Then one day he was stopped. He was questioned. He was delayed. On his next trip, he was denied boarding altogether. He was on the no-fly list. He had no idea why. He spent the next decade of his life fighting to clear his name. He missed weddings, funerals, and academic conferences. His career suffered. His life was put on hold. He filed lawsuits. He wrote to congressmen. He was met with the wall of silence. The government would neither confirm nor deny his status, citing national security. After a 10-year legal battle, a judge finally ordered the government to remove him from the list, stating they had violated his constitutional rights. They never gave him a reason for why he was put on it in the first place. This isn't a one-off story. The ACLU has documented thousands of similar cases. American citizens, veterans, even a state senator, who were wrongly placed on the list and forced to navigate a bureaucratic nightmare to reclaim their freedom of movement. And this is where the new TSA rules become so critical to understand. The move towards biometrics, your face, your fingerprints, is designed to make this system even more powerful. The government's argument is that biometrics will reduce cases of mistaken identity. If they can scan your face and know with 99.9% certainty that you are you, they can distinguish you from a person of interest who happens to share your name. But there's a flip side to that coin. This new unforgeable digital ID is now being permanently linked to your secret risk profile. Your face becomes the key that unlocks your entire file. Every time you look into a camera at the airport, the system isn't just checking your ID against your boarding pass. It's running your biometric data against the entire ecosystem of government watch lists and intelligence databases in real time. It's analyzing your micro-expressions. It's cross-referencing your image with a history of all your past travels, financial transactions, and known associates. This creates a permanent, searchable record of your movements, all tied to your unique biological identity. Forget losing your wallet. You can't lose your face. And this data isn't just being used by the TSA. This is the crucial part. The Department of Homeland Security, which oversees the TSA, operates another, even more comprehensive program called the Automated Targeting System, or ATS. If Secure Flight is the gatekeeper for air travel, ATS is the gatekeeper for the entire country. It assigns a risk score to every single person, including U.S. citizens, who crosses an American border by air, land, or sea. The ATS algorithm chews on an insane amount of data: your travel itinerary, your customs declarations, your criminal record, intelligence reports from the FBI and CIA, and even data purchased from commercial data brokers. That can include your credit score, your purchase history, your property records, and even information about your political or religious affiliations. All of this is used to generate a score, a number, a ranking that determines how much of a threat the US government thinks you are. You will never see this score. You are not allowed to know what it is, and you have very limited ability to correct any false information that might be dragging your score down. This data is then stored for decades and shared across a dizzying array of federal agencies, the FBI, DEA, CIA, NSA, as well as with foreign governments. The information gathered when you scanned your driver's license at a TSA checkpoint in Ohio could be used to deny you entry into the United Kingdom 5 years from now. The facial scan from your flight to Las Vegas could be added to a massive gallery used by law enforcement to identify protesters at a political rally. We are building a world where anonymity is impossible, and every citizen is perpetually under review. The promise is security, but the price is a level of scrutiny that was once the stuff of dystopian fiction. The system is designed to be opaque. It operates behind a veil of national security, making it almost impossible to hold accountable. When it makes a mistake, the burden of proof falls on you, the individual, to prove your innocence to a secret court you can't see and with evidence you're not allowed to know. This vast, interconnected web of surveillance is growing more powerful by the day, fed by the new rules and new technologies being rolled out at every airport in the country. It's a system that has the power to ground you, to strand you, to label you a threat without due process. It's a system you are a part of whether you like it or not. The question is, are you powerless against it? Or are there ways to see behind the curtain? Are there steps you can take to protect yourself, to find out what this system knows about you, and to fight back if it gets you wrong? The answer, thankfully, is yes. But it's not what you think. The first thing you need to understand is that the government has a front door and a back door. The front door is the one they want you to use. It's called the DHS Traveler Redress Inquiry Program, or DHS TRIP. This is the official sanction channel for travelers who believe they've been unfairly delayed, denied boarding, or subjected to extra screening. If you're the person who gets the dreaded SSSS on your boarding pass every single time, this program is designed for you. The process sounds simple enough. You go to the DHS Trip website, you fill out a form detailing your experiences, and you provide copies of your identification. The government then takes your case, investigates why you're being flagged, and, in theory, cleans up the data. If your name is John Smith and you happen to share a birthday with a John Smith on a watch list, this program is supposed to fix that. Once your case is reviewed, you're issued a redress control number. You then add this number to all your future flight reservations and magically, your problems are supposed to disappear. And for some people it works. It's the bureaucratic equivalent of turning it off and on again. It can solve simple cases of mistaken identity. But what about the more complex cases? What if the data they have on you isn't just a mistaken name but a mistaken association? What if an algorithm has flagged you based on travel patterns it deems suspicious, even if they were completely innocent? The DHS Trip program doesn't tell you why you were flagged. It doesn't show you the data they have on you. You send your information into a black box, and you either get a redress number or you don't. You get a letter saying your case has been reviewed and corrected, but you never see the report card. You never know what was wrong in the first place or if it's truly fixed. Think about it. You're asking the very same system that wrongly flagged you to investigate itself and find its own error. There's no transparency. You are completely at the mercy of an unseen, unaccountable process. For years, people have gone through the TRIP program only to find their travel problems persist. They get their redress number, they dutifully enter it for every flight, and they still get pulled aside for the special screening. Why? Because the root cause of the problem was never actually addressed. The bad data, the incorrect algorithmic conclusion, is still lurking in a file somewhere attached to your name. So, if the front door doesn't always work, what about the back door? How do you see what's actually in your file? This is where we move beyond the standard advice. The most powerful tool a U.S. citizen has to see behind the curtain is the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA. This is a federal law that gives you the right to request access to records from any federal agency. And yes, that includes the TSA and the Department of Homeland Security. This isn't some conspiracy theory or a fringe legal trick. It is your fundamental right. You can file a FOIA request asking for any and all records the TSA holds that contain your name, your travel history, and any risk assessments associated with you. You can literally ask them, "Show me my file." Now, it's not as simple as sending an email. The agencies will fight you. They will claim national security exemptions. They will redact huge portions of documents, blacking out entire pages. They will tell you that the information you're requesting doesn't exist. It can be a long, frustrating battle that can sometimes end up in court, but it is one of the only ways to get a glimpse into why you might be on their radar. Through FOIA requests, journalists and civil liberties groups have uncovered just how vast these systems are. They've found training manuals, internal memos, and watchlisting guidelines that were never meant to see the light of day. For an individual, a successful FOIA request might turn up a report that shows you were flagged because you took a one-way flight paid for in cash 10 years ago. Or it might show that your information was tangled up with someone else's in a database glitch. It might not give you the whole picture, but it can give you clues. And those clues are ammunition. Once you know why you're being flagged, you can more effectively challenge it, both through the official TRIP program and through legal channels if necessary. So how does this all connect back to the new TSA rules? To the death of the boarding pass and the rise of the face scan? It's more important now than ever before. When the only thing a TSA agent needed was a boarding pass and a driver's license, the system was, in a strange way, simpler. The data points were limited. But now, with Cat2 scanners pulling information from dozens of government databases in real time, and with biometric systems creating a permanent, searchable record of your face linked to your identity, the potential for error grows exponentially. Imagine a future where the system makes a mistake. It's not just an SSSS on a boarding pass anymore. With facial recognition, an error could mean the system flags you as someone you're not, and the gate simply won't open for you. There's no agent to plead your case to, just a red light and a silent rejection. The system says no. An algorithm trained on data you've never seen and can't correct has decided you're a risk. And because all of this is happening in the background, you have no idea why. You just know you can't get on your flight. This is why understanding tools like DHS Trip and FOIA is no longer just for the wrongfully accused or the civil liberties nerds. It's becoming essential knowledge for any modern traveler. You have to be your own best advocate. You have to be willing to demand transparency. So, what are the practical steps? First, be meticulous. Keep records of every travel incident. If you're pulled for secondary screening, make a note of the date, the time, the airport, the flight number. This is the evidence you'll need if you file a trip complaint. Second, don't be afraid to use the system. If you consistently have problems, file a DHS trip request. Get that redress number. It may not solve everything, but it's the first step and it creates a paper trail. And third, if the problems continue, consider filing a FOIA request. Go to the TSA or DHS website, find their FOIA portal, and be as specific as you can. Request all records pertaining to you, including any data shared from other agencies like the FBI or CBP. It won't be fast and it won't be easy, but it is your right. We are at a crossroads in the history of travel. We're trading pieces of our privacy and autonomy for the promise of speed and security. The end of the boarding pass isn't just a technological shift, it's a philosophical one. It represents a move toward a system of preemptive judgment, where our freedom of movement is contingent on a constant, real-time data-driven background check. The question we all have to ask ourselves is not just, will this make us safer? Or will this make the line move faster? The real question is, what happens when this vast, invisible system gets it wrong? When an algorithm decides, based on secret data and secret rules, that you are a threat. Without transparency, without a meaningful way to see and challenge the data that defines us, convenience at the airport could come at the cost of our most basic rights. The next time you walk up to that security checkpoint and see the new scanners, remember what's happening behind the screen. It's more than just a new machine. It's a new contract being written between you and the government, and it's being written in code you're not allowed to see. The future of travel is here. And it's essential that we are all paying very, very close attention.